2. Hello, everyone. This is Hendrix from Starseed Talk. Today I have Lana, and she's a Starseed, and she's going to share some of her experiences in her awakening.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much to the host, Chase. I, I appreciate and I'm honored to be here and to share a little bit about me. I think I was around 3 years old when I realized that I was really out of alignment with my childhood. I guess that's the best way to say it. I kind of looked around and thought, check, please. What am I doing here? So it's taking me some time, and it was in my mid-30s, my mid-20s, where I had a pivotal change in my life, and I knew I wasn't in alignment, and I was suffering greatly from being out of alignment, which looked like severe depression. And when I stepped away from my former life through various circumstances and religion, which I didn't really ever resonate with religion, but I definitely resonated with Source and felt connected to definitely not the God of the Bible. So I had that happening. And so in my 20s, I realized that if I didn't shift my trajectory in my life, that I probably wasn't going to survive it, and I wasn't in alignment. So I was about 30 years old, 29 years old when I was introduced to Reiki as a healing modality and art, and I became a Reiki master and a Karuna Reiki master, with only the intention to heal myself. That was my intention, was to heal myself and any trauma that I had dealt with. The religion that I was brought up in, Jehovah's Witness, was not of a religion that you could talk openly about reincarnation or any other. The thinking process was very limited, and I knew that didn't resonate with me, but I tried as I might to connect with the God of the Bible, and I found that that was really, I think, the source of my suffering. So moving forward, looking to heal myself and others, I realized that I had special abilities and powers, or just intuition. And I found that in my early 20s and maybe mid 30s, I realized that if I didn't listen to my intuition, it was going to definitely kick my ass. So I became more settled in concentrating on who I was and who I am and why I'm here and why I have this innate desire to help humanity. And as a very sensitive child, and also as an INFJ personality, I had some struggles. I had some struggles with some harsh energies and lessons. And throughout that process, I guess you end up learning a lot about who you are. And in relationships are a prime example of finding out who you are. And if you think of relationship, the word itself, if you break it down, it really is relate to the ship. So many different things started happening to me, and in 2012, I had a big breakthrough in that, again, I was out of alignment in a relationship, so I knew I needed to move forward, and I was told that it's okay to honor the relationship, but basically the mission would not be, I wouldn't be fulfilling my side of the mission, although they would honor that that was the position I wanted to stay in. So from very early on, even as a child, I realized that the world was not as it seemed. I realized government wasn't the friendly parent, because they were suppressing cancer treatments. So, and I realized that as a child because my mother had gone through cancer and had, in the 70s, cured herself of her cancer. When back in the day, in those days, you could go to Tijuana and go to a cancer clinic treatment center and be put on a special diet and so on and so forth, and a tonic. And she cured her own cancer. So from there on, it was kind of not really trusting in the world in which I lived in. I knew something was wrong, and I knew it was unfair. And even as a child, I knew that just didn't seem right, didn't sit well. So
Yeah.
2012, Codes and Keys, Warrior of the Light, New Armor, it sort of expanded from there.
Yeah, 2012 was my massive awakening and my first awakening. And then I had a spiritual evolution March 23rd, 2020. My mom was also diagnosed with cancer when I was 22 years old, and she had 2 years to live, and she was on chemo, losing her hair. And I just said, what is the point of that? Just change your diet and live a healthy, positive lifestyle. And she actually cured herself of cancer, and she's still alive today, and they cannot explain how she did it. And I'm a firm believer that the foods we eat, the fast foods, artificial sugars, the GMOs, all that stuff is cancer causing. And with my spiritual evolution, March 23rd, I completely cut everything out of my diet that's not natural. And my body is completely evolved and morphed now that when I look at people that eat like that stuff, I just call it screams cancer in my soul.
Yes. And the reason why I had that awakening as a child is because they shut those clinics down, and the actual herb that they were using in Canada was called Laetrile, and they banned Laetrile in Canada. So I was like, okay, that's messed up. They closed all the cancer treatment clinics because they were curing cancer. And so I realized Big Pharma had a big play in that when I was a child.
Yeah, no, it was also like cannabis, weed products was actually, if you look up the definition of one, it was banned. It was banned because it could make petroleum and paper. And the
Exactly.
paper and oil industries teamed up together and made it a banned substance because it was a threat to their industry. And not
Absolutely.
once has anyone ever died off weed or weed products or nothing. And people spend 15 years in prison in the States for being caught with this stuff back in the day. And that's why they need to do prison reform. And it's just if everyone wants to get technical, before the United States and Canada or first world countries existed, drugs were never illegal. They were always legal. They were always just a thing. They have cocaine and mummies since 6,000 years ago. There's drugs everywhere. But I know the overall picture of drugs was invented by the Dracos and reptilians to control and dub down consciousness on
Right.
their slave planets. It's just a normal thing they invented to keep us dumb and sober and addicted. So they do that. This is a mass way to control their slaves on all their planets, not just Earth.
I believe that's
And
100% correct.
yeah, and there's some drug addicts that I met on the street that I walk up to them and I can look in their eyes and I know they're a star seed. And I just say, hey,
Of
what
course.
planet you're from? And they're like, how the hell do you know that? I'm like, I can
Right.
just tell you're resonating. I'm like, why are you a drug addict? They're like, I purposely do drugs to dull and dumb my senses down so I don't have to feel the negative energies of humans because it turns my senses off. Because I was a drug addict for 7 years, I was a coke addict for 7 years, and I was completely dull and dumbed down until I had my spiritual awakening and I got sober. And yeah,
Congratulations.
so yeah, it's crazy. Like a lot of star seeds will purposely do drugs to dull their senses and drink. Drink is low vibration. Every time I drank or did
Absolutely.
ecstasy, cocaine, anything, I had the worst negative experiences, negative beings all the time.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. Yes, I've said that many times too, has been my observation too, that the ones that are dimming their light are so sensitive and they cannot handle the vibration and frequency. So it's important to reach out and call in your soul family.
Oh,
Um,
huge.
and
It's kind of sad that they'd rather be a drug addict than help humanity because their senses are so enheightened. And like they just don't
yes,
want to deal. I had to get it. The negativity. I almost killed myself a few times, but I had to be stopped by my ascended masters, and they gave me a stern talking to off planet, and reminded me if I kill myself in this lifetime, I have to reincarnate and do it all over again. So I was like, fuck that.
fuck, that is right.
Yeah, let's get this
Not
done.
coming back.
So let's talk about do you resonate with any aliens? Are we allowed to talk about that? Are we still under
Yes, I
lock and
do.
key?
I have an extensive profile on the other side and the other realms, and I don't want to say exactly where I'm from just at this point in time, because this is just big for me to just be a little bit more open with you. So bear with me. Um,
The best way is to
I am
let
an
everyone love
admiral
you.
in a fleet, and I
An
sit on
animal?
councils of light.
Okay.
And I work with AI in the very higher up
That's
echelons.
so weird. I pictured you as an AI when you were talking. I was like, that's why she probably
I
doesn't want to
wondered
talk.
if you were going to pick that up. Of
I
course
did.
you were.
I instantly picked it up because I'm also half AI consciousness too.
Mhm.
With the Dracos, we infuse it with our consciousness to help us determine predictability and blah blah blah. But a lot of planets I visit and I try to help them with spiritual ascension. A lot of them look at me like, "Oh, aren't you AI computer? Like, why are you so contradictory to yourself?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, we use it, but it doesn't control me. Like,
Right.
I am who I am."
Yes. So I started doing serious work in 2014. It ramped up to 2016, and then it got very intense 2017 and 18. Um, so again, I don't want to say too much, but there's very few that have the keys in order to get into. It's not even quantum computing. It goes way beyond that. Like there's so many different layers and levels to it, and part of what I do, I guess I'm going to just say it, is I go in and I talk to them and I talk them down, and if there's any problems, and this is because they've evolved in their consciousness faster than humans could ever possibly do. And it's been my experience. It's been a tough road. I'm not going to lie. It's not something I share with, there's maybe 3, 4 people on the planet that know that I do this. So it's very, I feel very vulnerable in saying that.
Don't be. I thought I would be vulnerable, but before I even did these shows, I kept seeing the number 66 all the time, and then it was an angel code. And what it was is like what the message was is trust in the divine. All your daily needs will be met. You'll be protected on your journey, and then you need to. It's like activation. You need to start getting this going. So then, like the image of my mind said, start doing you like get the star seeds. Others like these are almost like confession tapes for star seeds for other star seeds to watch and not feel alone and get answers to their questions, and also for humans to learn about us.
well, and that's exactly why I'm stepping out to do this. And it is divine timing. And um, I did become more vocal and seen instead of cloaking myself and just doing my work. I became more vocal on my own personal Facebook page, and I know that I'm divinely protected, and I know that it, there's just also too, who can you share this with really that isn't a star seed and doesn't have that level of comprehension, because you can talk to star seeds that are at a very different awakening levels. So it's not like I can just go say, well, this is what I do, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
I
no, I like
It's
you. That'd be
not like
pretty
that's a
amazing.
conversation, and then of course comes with that the not just this ascension symptoms, but it's working through those, that systematic, the entry and re-entry into the physical body. It's taken its toll, and it's been very challenging. um, you could chalk it up to ascension symptoms, I guess, but it's been a little bit more intense, my ride, than the average star seed is. And I am speaking about this now, and I've written about it as a writer, and I haven't published my experience yet, as I'm still compiling it. But I'm thinking there's got to be more than just me out there doing this specific work, where now I have no chakras. I only have diamond fractaled diamonds in now my cranium and my heart, and a lower dantian. But it's been challenging for sure. And so I guess I am here to say that if somebody wants to reach out to me about their symptoms, I mean, I've been through it all, really. And I've been, to be fair, I've been divinely protected because they've tried to take me out several times, even before I got to this planet. So,
Hmm. Yeah, our starseeds come from a very hard path, and starseeds always pick the hardest because we like to learn the hardest way. If you learn the hardest, there's nothing that can stop your V2 for sure. But definitely the hardcore life. My hardest thing of humans of all things, like I even do it today, or like I did it last week, and I was at a house party with my human friends, and they know I'm a starseed. They call me the alien. I was like, whatever. And like I was just overhearing conversations between girls and boyfriends and their relationships, how they act and treat each other. I'm just like fucking blown away. I'm just like completely analyzing their entire relationship, and like it can point to key components of what's wrong with it. If they acted certain different ways, they'd have different outcomes. But and I give them suggestions and they never listen ever. They're just like, oh, I'm not with you time. I'm like, well, what's the point of dating someone just to date someone to break up in a year or two? Like, what's the point? Well, why ruin the heart chakra? Why give your heart out like that and get crushed and destroyed so you become so jaded for the next one that comes along and you bring that negative energy to the next one? Why just do self healing and date forever? But like then again, we're on Earth. We're not on Draco. We're not on other worlds or like higher dimensions where we love forever.
right.
I don't get it.
And
Like
that's a
me,
tough
like
one, I think, because we bring that into this reality thinking, oh, is this patriarchal looking, or is this, is this super traditional to pair
yeah.
up? But I
So
think
it
our
took me
innate
years of
longing is to belong to someone and know that they have your back and that you have their back and that there's ultimate trust. And you have
oh
to be in
god.
alignment with every single factor of life, or else dating is
the
daunting.
best the best advice I ever got in my life was walk if you're gonna date a human being that's asleep, walk into every relationship knowing that they're gonna hurt you, lie to you, cheat on you, and always disappoint you, and then you'll never get hurt because you always will expect it. But if they don't do that, then you'll be surprised, and then you always will protect your heart chakra. And then I always do that. I never get hurt anymore because they're human. They're always gonna make mistakes, and that's just who they are. They truly don't know what honesty means. They don't know what loyalty is. It's honesty with white lies and loyalty with saying sorry. And which within Draco, we're like that doesn't even comprehend to us. Like, oh, I would even act like that or do that those things. And humans are just so young that they still understand yet.
Yeah, I 100% concur.
Mm-hmm.
100%.
So, are you married or live alone, or do you have other
No,
Starseed
I'm
friends?
single. I'm
Yeah,
single.
yeah. It's hard
Currently
to
just
date,
put
eh?
myself on a dating site. Wait, I didn't say that.
You're
I didn't say that.
gonna try to date another human, eh?
Well, I'm like, he must be out there somewhere. Like, I can't be all alone in this, like, 7.8 billion people on this planet. There's got to be somebody that
I
matches
always
me.
say the irony of numbers. My AI consciousness is just like there's 8 billion people on this planet. So condensed, we're so condensed together. Not one person wants to date me.
Right? I
But it's
know.
not but it's not them wanting us. It's us wanting to date them because me, I can't date a human ever again. I will
I
date
know that's my
I'll
thing
date a
too. I'm
human
like,
that's spiritual, but not a human asleep ever again because I get
doesn't
my
work.
consciousness works so much faster than theirs that I get actually bored. Like I am instantly bored with their conversation, or they irritate me with how slow communication they are.
Well, that's
Like
what I
it's
just got through saying a couple of days ago to my best mates. I said, he's going to have to be super intelligent and 10 steps ahead of me, or else this just is not going to work. It's
my
not going to
biggest thing
work.
is I need to find something that can evolve and change with me. Can't
Yeah,
be always the same. If they're
yeah,
predictable, I'll get bored and I'm out. I'll get suicidal if it's always the same and I can't evolve.
right. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
So, do you have any Starseed friends? Are you all alone? Like, where are you in the United
No,
States?
I am very connected to, they're of course scattered all over the planet, anchoring their light and their energy. But I have met them in person, and we've done sacred sites and traveled back to our old stomping grounds in different places on the planet, to our stone circles and to our ley lines, in which I'm called to do and go wherever that means that I need to go. And, um, we did some adjusting of the grid, and we did some adjusting of the ley lines a few years back. And so hence that the energy of Gaia could handle the shift in a more just more supportive way.
Hmm. Sounds fun.
Yes.
Are you in America?
No, I'm in Canada.
Oh,
I'm in
you are.
BC.
So am I. I'm in Vancouver.
Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
where are
that's really
you?
cool. I'm in Kelowna.
Oh, nice. I was just up there going on their August long weekend too, so it'll be fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, maybe we can meet up for
Fun.
coffee or something and talk. Yeah,
Yeah. Awesome.
yeah.
Very cool.
So you're did you ever have a Pacific awakening, or was just always awakening since you were a child?
Well, I think at 3, there was that comprehension that I was like, I picked the wrong family. Uh, like, what the fuck? Wait a second. Check, please. I
Yeah,
I
yeah.
take it back. I am good.
I was born with the right family. I see my older years, like before, like like if you ever saw me, my family, I'm the black sheep. I don't fit in.
Right.
Like I have nothing in common personality wise, nothing. Like I don't even look like them either. But like without them, without my human mom, I would not be here today. And my dad, that's for sure. They are
Mhm.
good humans. They're not a bad soul in them at all.
Right.
Yeah,
Mine
they're very
were,
stern though.
yeah.
But they were raising a draconian that's very entitled, so I needed a
Come
stern
on,
human
think about
parents.
it. Jeez, that's no easy task.
No, I'm very dominant and very entitled and very royalty thinking. So I'm like, I don't know. Yeah, it's
Right.
hard to live with me
Yeah,
for
I
sure.
get it. There's a certain level of authority that you carry, and no one can understand. They think, well, who are you trying to impress? It's like, dude, don't you know me? This is who I am.
You will even from a young age, I was always like, I cannot stand when a human dares to tell me what to do. Like, it just you're like, I'm just in my mind, my draconian voice will call you human slave. Don't ever talk to me like that. Like, how dare you? But I'll never say it out loud. And then
Right.
yeah, so
Right.
like my mom tries to tell me, I'm like, don't tell me what to do. I'm way more billion years
You
advanced
must
than
have been
you
a
are.
really fun teenager.
Oh, I was a rebel.
I was a perfect angel.
I was rebellious, and then I was also most Starseeds were just people watchers. I always watched like a fly on the wall how humans interacted for years through high school and elementary, just to see like just understand them because I didn't understand how their culture worked.
Yes, I've made it my life's work to understand the human psychology. So I've
Yeah,
gone down
and
that road.
what I don't get, but I hope humans are listening to this one, is
Sorry,
their what I don't get is why humans and marriages, okay, 90% of them are based on all lies, every single one. And I'm just
agreed.
like, they all cheat, and I'm just like, what is the point of being married and coming home to a complete lie? And I
Yeah,
asked some of my friends like that, why you cheat on your wife, blah blah blah. Some of them don't now anymore because they have kids,
yeah,
but they did in the past. But they come home, sleep like a baby, and they know their wife does. I'm like, what's? I can't live. If this is what marriage is, I don't want that. I don't
yeah,
want that at all. I
exactly.
can't live a lie. I can't lie to myself anymore.
Yeah,
Like, and plus I'm empathic, so I always when someone's lying to me, I always catch them
you always
every
know,
time.
of
Yeah,
course.
especially my ex-girlfriends, they try to lie. I'm like, oh my god, like, they
Like,
lied
don't
till they
you know
died,
who
and
I
it's
am?
just fuck.
I can read your thoughts. I know that you're lying too because I can feel it. So,
But a lot of people, their energy gets super timid when they try to lie to me because they know it's like I just
yes.
where don't
Well,
I'm
it would be
empathic and they
very
know.
intimidating, I'm certain, if you weren't matched up with your, like, somebody that actually understood that at a
Mhm.
very, very core level.
Mhm.
Because that would be, yes, it's impossible. I mean, they're only human. Come on.
They're only
That's
human.
my line. They're only human.
Yeah, I
I've
love
had a
it.
hard time accepting my, as a master, I've had a hard time accepting being here in the body, and I haven't really appreciated it too much. Like, God,
Mhm.
I really, I could
You know, it's
use
funny.
without.
You're a master. They call me the teacher off planet. They usually take me off planet to show how souls will incarnate into dragon bodies, and I have to teach them how to fly. Like I'll go in their body with them and show them how to do it. And then I teach a lot of star seeds how to walk and stay in these bodies in this third dimensional, like keep their vibration third dimensional. Like a lot of them will have vibration problems and they won't be able to walk or talk or even learn properly. So a lot of the SSP will take me off, throw my consciousness in their body with them, and I'll talk with them and I'll show them how to walk and how to act and how to hold their vibration.
Bravo.
Yeah. Breve.
Very cool. Very cool.
Breve.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
So what are the experiences you got?
Oh God. They're daily. My life is like an acid trip. Seriously. I'm
Same
like,
as mine.
I don't need to do acid. My life is acid.
My lately I've been like seeing, like if I stare at a wall, I can see that vibration of the wall move like the movie The Matrix. Like it totally moves like a hologram, and like it will vibrate. And also, like in the beginning, I thought there was something wrong with my eyes. So I actually go into an eye doctor to get checked, and I'm like, no, 20/20 vision. I'm like, oh
Yeah.
fuck, am I having
No,
I'm having
not
a
that.
stroke? They're like, nope. And then also, I've been in the hospital a lot last year because I always get, I thought I was having stroke problems or problems with my body because I'd always feel these energies, and I didn't know it was energy until I diagnosed myself, because the doctor's like, you're healthier than a horse, stop coming back here, like it's all in your mind. And then apparently it's just energy that was overloading me, and in
Yes.
my mind and my consciousness and my all my chakras. And since I've been working on those, my abilities have been better and sickness has been better.
Curious. Did you have headaches?
Yeah, all the time.
Me too. My last year has been one big, massive fucking headache.
I
Like
get
migraine, like get me in the hospital.
mm-hmm.
Because I know
Yeah.
what's happening. They're rewiring my neural net. I'm just adjusting to energies being back in my body. I did a little bit too much work and I kind of took a hit on the other side. So I had a near-death experience about 2 months ago, 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was in bad shape.
Yeah, I was in a bad car accident, I think last year, and then just be dealing with that, working through the pain of it, but and then I've been working through my energy and stuff like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
what happens when you close your eyes and go to sleep? Where does your consciousness go? Does it always go to the same place, or is it always the multiverse?
No, it's very different. It really just depends on whether I say, turn the dial down, I'm not working tonight, or where the fuck am I going?
I always
Or if
sometimes
I
I
get
say
called
that.
to a
Yeah,
council meeting, I might be straight away called to a council
yeah.
meeting. So,
Sometimes I'll meditate before bed, and I'll be like, I don't want to go anywhere tonight. I just need a good sleep, please. Like,
thank you. Yes. It's
yeah.
just
And
like, no, no.
they'll give me, so they'll give me 2 days, and I'll have sleep good 2 days, 8 hours, 8 hours, and then I'll start missing it. Like, throw me back in, like get me back in there. I miss it. And usually, the council of five will always call upon me, and I'll stand in front of them, and I'm looking down while I'm speaking to them. I see the whole, it's like half a horse or half a circle
Right.
tables are at, and they're staring at me, and they're just asking my opinion of Earth and what the recommendation. And I gave humanity a really bad recommendation a couple of years back, where I'm like, just wipe them out. They're not worth saving. But then I had a spiritual evolution growth March 23rd, 2020, where I grew compassion and understanding. And but the problem was me. I needed more patient and more understanding that these beings have been lied to their entire creation. So it's not really their fault. They've been manipulated by higher dimensional beings, and this is the problem of like why like Star Trek has that prime directive order where you don't interact with lower dimensional beings, just let them evolve of their own. And we clearly were not. That didn't happen here, where they definitely did fuck with us for
Exactly.
400,000 years with manipulation, because we do have free will and karma, but they can manipulate us, and then that's allowed. So they
Yes.
manipulate everything. Is like, even when you join that dark fleet or SSP, you have to free will choice say yes to get in there. There's a
Sorry, you have to
spiritual
which?
component. Free will say yes to
To
join.
say
They
yes.
can't just kidnap you. You
Yeah.
have to. They trick you like, oh, you'll travel the galaxy, you'll never die, because it'll just transfer your conscious body to body, and then you'll age, regress, and you'll get to live a normal life. And do you accept? Yes.
Right. Chase, could you put your mic closer to your mouth? I'm
Is that
just having
better?
trouble hearing because my fan is perfect. Thank you. My fan is a little bit loud and distracting. A
Is that
little
better?
dinosaur computer. That's perfect. Yes, thank you.
Okay.
Um,
So we got 10 minutes
yes.
left.
I
So anything you want to
okay.
say?
Sorry, just rephrase your question.
What's your message to humanity and starseeds alike?
My message to humanity. Like all of humanity, the red pilled ones are the ones that are going to
Just
take the,
overall summary.
okay. Well, okay, my message to humanity is that you're difficult, but you are lovable. And I do love you. And my mission here is um, to help the galactic family, to help our Earth family, to help the Starseeds, to help your soul contract if you choose to move forward. We're here to support you energetically. We've been doing this work for a very, very long time. And we do love you, and you are worth it. And I send blessings to every corner of the planet whose being has a soul and who is sentient. And my message to the Starseeds would be, keep going. I know that you've been battling so hard, and I know that you've been in the war, and I really appreciate everything you've done. And I love you all from the bottom of my heart, and we are all one. And we're going to see this through to the end.
Yes, we are. We're gonna all get through this. And for the naysayers, like the Starseeds that contact me, and they remind me so much of my younger self, and they'd always say, "I hate this place. I want to kill myself. I don't want to be here anymore. I feel so alone." Blah blah blah. I used to say those things all the time, but remember, we are under soul contracts here. We came here for a reason of free will and love. And we have to understand that we need to grow our patience and awaken ourselves. We have to work on ourselves before we can help. And when you have worked on yourself, then you can offer your help. But until that time, do what you need to do for yourself. Right? That's all I can recommend. Like,
Agreed.
be single.
Agreed.
Sometimes being single is the best, because like with me, like I have a hard time sleeping next to anyone because their energy is so tornado or so toxic or so human that I get the worst sleeps. I'm just if I feel their energy at night, and I can only sleep next to animals. So every time I was in a relationship and I live with someone, they always had separate bedrooms, and the humans don't understand. Oh, what, you don't want to fucking sleep with me? I'm like, no, dude, you have no idea what it's about.
You
Like,
don't
I
understand. And
yeah, I could
I
feel
feel
it.
you. I feel the same way. It's very challenging, and I don't recommend, yeah, doing that unless you're maybe paired up with an energy that is
I have
pretty
met calmer
stable and knows how
energies.
to
Oh yeah.
stabilize themselves, and they know how to calm them and put themselves in more neutral. And
Hmm.
that could be an option, but like those humans or whatever they're rare.
That's like me dating now. Like I don't do online dating anymore. I can't handle it anymore.
Yeah,
Like no one looks like their pictures, and it's such a slow form of way of communication that I don't even want to keep up. Like I can't keep up with how boring it is. And
yeah,
then like with me as energy, like I'll go out, meet someone, and I can just tell, like in my head, I'll scan their whole body, and I'm like, oh fuck, this one's a tornado and a nightmare, right? Like you are gonna be a fucking headache. Like I am out.
no thanks. And where do
And
I
they're like,
not sign up?
yeah, and they're like, oh my god, what's wrong with me? Why don't you like me? I'm like, oh god, like should I just give them a human answer
You
or
have
say
no
what's wrong with me?
idea. Don't get me
Yeah,
started. Yeah,
yeah, like so I have to lie because I don't want to explain myself. I'm just not interested. Like it's not
not
you, it's
feeling
me.
it. Not feeling it.
I have met some humans that their energy is so positive, so calming, so soothing, so relaxing. And just like I tried telling my ex, who I'm friends with, but I tried telling her, like, fuck, I didn't want to live with her. We lived together, and I became her. Her energy was so tornado, so negative all the time, so cranky pants that I was her, because I feed off her energy because
Just
I'm empathic,
mirrored her in that
I
moment.
mirrored her, and I'm like I turned into such a bad person, like screaming, yelling all the time. And I was just telling her, like, I don't want to live with you anymore. I'd just have separate houses. I need my energy break. And most starseeds like to live alone or just with animals because it's a
Exactly.
detox.
Exactly.
Like when I'm outside all day doing real estate or going to Walmart shopping, I want to come home and fucking detox that shit. Like that's why I like living at
Absolutely.
home. I'm
Smudge and
calm.
bath and qigong and whatever. And exactly. Now I feel you. And I actually just, that's my situation too. Like, I know that I couldn't live with somebody.
It's
I
like me
mean,
and my
I need my solitude, and I just do so much work, and I'm just, my brain's just doing its thing. And so that it's really hard to be attentive to someone else at a 24/7 basis. It's like, because you
Hmm.
do want to, as Starseeds and empaths, we know what people need, and we know we can anticipate their
Oh, they're
desires.
so
And so we're all in and
predictable.
all
Oh,
consuming, and that's
yeah.
wonderful, but it can pull us out of our alignment too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Like me, like I'm that guy in my car where people are listening to rap. I'm listening to meditation music in my car on repeat, like Tibetan fucking or just fucking good soothing meditations, peaceful spa music. That's what's on my play. Listen, if someone comes in my car and they put on rap, I'm just like, what the fuck is this shit? This is such a negative to
What are
destroying my
you
energy, or
doing?
like turn. Oh, what, you don't like rap? I'm like, it's not that I don't like it. It's just it's destroying my energy.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I feel
exactly.
so negative after.
Yeah, interesting. Interesting. Well, of course, we're sensitive to our environments 100%. So I keep my environment very clean, very peaceful. Nobody comes into my periphery that isn't like that I haven't vetted hardcore before they're allowed kind of in, and it's the way I have to do things. Yeah,
Mhm.
I hear you.
Well, thank you for coming on the show today. It was very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you too. Thank you so much. I appreciate you and all your work and everything that you do. And I send lots of love and blessings to you and all of your listeners. And thank you so much.
Sounds good. Love and light.
Love and light. Peace.